The Institute of Human-Centered Design is an international non-profit organisation dedicated to enhancing the experiences of all ages and abilities through excellence in design. Artworks is an initiative sponsored by the NEA. It supports creative ideas with the potential to connect artists and designers with a broader audience. Our question was, how would design pedagogy change as a result of asking students to work directly with members of the IHCD User Expert Lab? A user expert is a person who has developed expertise by means of their lived experience. They have the ability to reveal challenges that the environment presents for those with functional limitations and offer insight into the ways that others negotiate the world around them. They serve as consultants for the evaluation of places, products, technologies, and services. The artwork grant enabled us to employ their expertise in 5 different schools of design within a 50-mile radius of Boston. They collaborated with students throughout the semester, providing feedback on a series of different design assignments. Lesley University, Design, Research and Thinking class.
We have 3 very kind user experts who have agreed to come in and join us today, despite the fact that it's snowing outside, so I thank you guys for coming in.
Professor Lisa Spitz's introductory course on design for user experience prepares students for solving difficult, multi-dimensional problems. Each participant was required to create a social innovation for individuals over the age of 65. The task was to design a product or service that enhances social activities, such as travel, mobility, wayfinding, social networking, or neighbourliness. To this end, students worked with a group of aging user experts to examine these experiences in more detail.
I'm the youngster in the group. I'm 69. I'll be 70 in April. I was born legally blind. I have retinitis pigmentosa, which is inherited.
The class comprised of 3 process stages. The first, called Empathize, required students to ask user experts introductory questions and capture data about how they spend their time.
So it seems like probably the 2 things that you pointed out are like, well, you said buses are a little awkward, right?
Buses?
Yeah.
Oh, buses. Don't get me started on that. Yeah.
In the second stage, entitled Ideate, student teams presented initial design solutions and user experts shared their feedback. Finally, during the third, prototyping stage, user experts and IHCD staff served as guest critics. The last stage served to validate the designs by allowing the user experts to use each product or service. Mount Ida College Interdisciplinary Universal Design Symposia.
Each of you can come up, bring up your presentation. Most of you, I have them on there. If it's not on there, bring it right up. Your poster, your prototype, whatever you have to showcase what you have designed today.
Although the Mount Ida College Symposia spanned only 2 days, they provided a versatile platform for exploring shorter interactions with user experts. Throughout these events, the facilitators provided a variety of design activities.
This is his range, but his tray goes here and it's down here, so it doesn't work. So he needs something on this side higher where he can sit the iPad on it, the keyboard, he can eat, and everything is on his side within his range.
I like that.
Students from the interior design program had worked with user experts on a 24-hour design-a-thon. The students had formed 8 groups and interviewed user experts on everyday tasks that warranted a design response. Once the individual challenges had been identified, the students worked independently overnight with their individual user experts as guides. The students' final designs were then presented to a panel of jurists the following afternoon. At the core of the event, the 2-day design charrette competition would serve to promote universal design to a commercial audience, including companies that might bring some ideas to market or help participants launch their own ideas. This hands-on interactive event provided an ideal platform for user expert collaboration.
Okay, hi, we are team number 3. I am legally blind. Like most of you, I need to go grocery shopping. I'm sure you do your own grocery shopping just fine. It's a little different when you're blind. I need help. Well, I teammates have figured out a solution, and here they are to tell you all about it.
In March 2017, teams of students, professionals and user experts collaborated on design solutions. The teams created prototypes for a clothing closure.
Overcoats or outerwear that has zippers are very difficult for me to do because I have to make the connection at the bottom and zip up.
An improved elevator panel, and a volunteer grocery shopping assistance application. The New England School of Art and Design at Suffolk University. The graduate level Human Factors and Universal Design course benefited greatly from user expert engagement. The senior level course enables students to develop faster brainstorming skills, and this charrette model is applied throughout the semester. In the spring of 2017, students focused on designing a prototype kitchen for a newly renovated housing complex in Cambridge. The concept asked students to rethink the kitchen paradigm and consider how variations in user needs could be applied to mass-produced furnishings.
The church across the street is okay with Baptist Church.
During the first user-expert interaction, the students visited a Cambridge resident at home and toured their neighbourhood with them, observing them in situ. A month later, user experts visited the students in class and provided feedback about their kitchen designs, highlighting unique details of their lived experience, such as preparing food in their own home.
Elements of my design include flexibility, openness, customization, and equitability.
Finally, user experts and IHCD staff served as critics and reviewed how students employed drawings, videos, physical models to convey their ideas to a broader audience. Rhode Island School of Design, Industrial Design and Landscape Design class.
What are the shared values? What are the beliefs that we all share that we want to see applicable in the future in terms of designing spaces for nurturing human beings?
This industrial design studio, in collaboration with landscape architecture, asked students to consider new living models for future generations. Each participant was asked to predict what changes will be required in the next 15 years to allow existing buildings to adapt to future housing needs. Students from industrial design and landscape design were asked to respond to the human experience and propose ideas that would better serve physical and psychological needs.
I predict that 15 years from now, technology is definitely going to take over our lives, and as a designer, I feel like it's part of my responsibility to push us away from that kind of lifestyle.
Our first session at RISD included opportunities for each student to get to know the user experts and pitch their concepts. In the second half of the semester, they selected a direction via a proposal for developing a final intervention. During these two phases, students were engaged with user experts to inform their design decisions and therefore practice user-centered design.
Is this the same sink where you're washing your dishes?
Yes.
So what happens when half your silverware goes down into the composting bin?
This phase allowed user experts to share feedback on student prototypes and collaborate on design solutions. The final session was a traditional critique where IHCD staff and user experts served as guest panelists. UMass Dartmouth, Graphic Design and Product Branding course.
My name is Lesley University, and I'm an associate professor at UMass Dartmouth teaching graphic design.
Professor Zidi Mazangi begins class by asking his graphic design students a question. If you could improve the quality of life for a group of people, what would you do and why? Throughout the semester, each student translates their individual ideas into a new product and then creates a brand identity comprising of packaging, a site-specific display, and a website. Each student documents this process and presents their ideas in ways that can be understood by a broader audience. A distinct characteristic of this collaboration was that students had already identified products prior to meeting the user experts, and the conversations helped to broaden the students' initial observations about the world around them. The preliminary meeting transformed their initial propositions and enabled them to consider the unforeseen potential of sensory cues in brand identity.
My product is Pouch. It's a line of fabric patches that I describe as biochromatic and envirochromatic. So you put them on and they change color depending on conditions within the body or the environment.
The final meeting helps students to see the potential for graphic design to imbue greater meaning in a product, particularly when universal design principles are considered.
Wow, so from the first day I had you doing the stickies downstairs to here, that's been a nice journey.
The Designing for People, user experts in schools of design project, not only inspired design school faculty and students, but also staff, board members and user experts here at IHCD. Student feedback reveals the direct impact this project had on them as students and future designers. One Lesley University student shared that
up until now, I've always thought you want to have a product, you should talk to people and see how they react to your product, but I feel like I've always treated them as somebody that's going to use the product, and I've never allowed them to design with me. And allowing them to design with you is the best thing you can do, because then it's like it opens so many more options.
Usually you're told to sort of think about who your audience is, but now I have a better tool set of really figuring out who that is before I just assume who they are. But now I have a better way of sort of walking in their shoes and a better perspective of what they're going to be perceiving as far as what I'm putting out as content.
user experts testified on the impact they experienced too.
For me, being handicapped is new. All my life I just went around and did stuff, and not exactly climb mountains, but certainly could go in the woods and climb over rocks and just be out there and travel anywhere I wanted. And I'm finding the physical limitations difficult to deal with. So that in a way, this is really good for me because it gives me more self-esteem. When I feel like, oh Jesus, I can't do this and I can't do that, and this is going to be a serious problem. But so that I feel valued and I feel important and I feel heard and I feel listened to, and it really is good for me.
I'm not all that used to people really intensely listening to what I had to say, but am taking my suggestions into serious consideration. But I loved it. Being a user expert and needing to really think thoroughly through everything and verbally display it that clearly, I think that was great practice. This whole experience at the Institute for Human-Centered Design has been so rewarding to me, and such a great, portrayal of possibilities for the future. And I'm really happy with all of it. And I can't thank everybody enough.